Hello and welcome all the lovely kids of Coloria on the YouTube channel of Srimati R.S. Coloria YouTube. Today, I, Priyanka Chudasma, will be enlightening you people with the chemistry chapter of Standard 8 NCERT textbook. The name of the chapter we have is chapter number 3, Synthetic Fibers and Plastics. So let's go and see what they are. Now here we have a word that is fiber. So you people have already studied in your 7th standard about the fiber and the fabrics, isn't it? Yes, of course. So let's see something about that and have a small glance of what you have already studied. So here it comes. The fiber means what? The small strands of the thread by which the fabric is made. Okay. So here we have fiber of two types which you people have already learned about them. So here we have the first one is the natural one and the second one is the synthetic one. Now what is the natural one? Yes, the one which is obtained from plants and the animals. The examples you know very well, isn't it? Yes, the first example, plants we have jute, cotton and so many others. Whereas for the animals we have wool and others also. So here we can say that these are the natural fibers which can be obtained from the plants and the animals. Now the second type we have is the synthetic one. What is the synthetic one? Yes, in this 8th standard we are going to study the synthetic fibers from our syllabus. The synthetic is the one which is prepared by the human beings, or we can say it is a man-made, which is being constructed in the factories by the help of the chemicals. So let's have a look at that. Now the question that arises here, what are synthetic fibers? Because we are aware about only the natural fibers. Now the synthetic fibers are also made with the small units merged together. So how they can be worked? Let us see a view of that. As we can see over here, there are some of the beads which are combined together. Now when the beads are separate, they cannot form a necklace, but when they are all together, they will form a beautiful necklace which is immersed with each other in a thread. In the same way, you can try it out at your home with the paper clips also. Yes, by joining these paper clips to form a series. Likewise this. So this is known as the polymer. Now what is this polymer word? Here we can say the expanded form of the polymer. Polymer is a Greek word. Now what is the meaning of this? Here it comes. Poly means many and mer means unit. So here it goes the meaning. When so many of the units come together, they form a polymer. Exactly. So here we can say that the synthetic fibers will be made by joining some small units which are artificially made in the factories and with the help of the chemicals. So I hope now it is clear to you what is a synthetic fiber and how they can be constructed. We will be looking still more in vibrant form. So here we go with the next point, that is, if we have seen the natural fibers, one of the example we have is the cotton. Now cotton is obtained from the cotton plant, we know very well. What are the things which are there as a polymer over here? In the cotton, we have the cellulose. As we know that natural things will be having the cellulose. Now cellulose are here as the polymer. What is the unit or what is the mer in this part? Now cellulose, as we know very well that plants when they are producing the food with the help of the carbon dioxide, sunlight and water in the process of photosynthesis, they will produce the glucose which is their output, isn't it? So this glucose is the unit of the cellulose, and so we can say that many glucose units when combined together, they will form the cellulose, that is the polymer, and these cellulose will be combining together to form the cotton which is the natural fiber. Here we have the next topic which is saying that types of synthetic fibers. So let us have a look at the new topic, that is types of the synthetic fibers. So first synthetic fiber which we are going to study is rayon. It seems a heavy name, isn't it? Yes, it is like the heaviness only. It is a synthetic material which belongs to or resembles the silk. Let's have a look at that. You know that the silkworm is prepared preparing the silk, isn't it? Yes, we are aware about that. That the silkworm will make the cocoon. Out of that cocoon, we will obtain the silk from them. Okay, and as we know that in the earlier times, it was just with the Chinese only. So the Chinese people in the China, they have kept it guarded and secret place over there. They don't want to reveal the secret to the world. But later on, the scientists have tried a lot to find out some other way out from here. That means to make or construct the artificial silk in the labs only. So they get succeed in that. At the end of the 19th century, we were able to make the artificial silk in the laboratory. Now, because of that, what will happen? As the silk was so costly and it was beautifully textured, and so it was fascinated by the people. So we have obtained the same type of the silk material which was artificially prepared in the laboratory. Now, how did we prepare that? So we prepared it with the help of the wood pulp. Now you will have a question that if it is obtained by making from the wood pulp, then it should be called as a natural one, isn't it? But actually we are treating it with the chemicals, and thus we will call it as a synthetic fiber. So what will happen? Now this wood pulp was chemically treated, and then we obtained the artificial fiber which is termed as rayon, which was more cheaper as compared to the original silk. But the benefit was, it was resembling the silk, means the texture was similar to the silk. Isn't it a good point? Yes, of course. Now in that we are adding some more steps, means we have just added the rayon with the cotton to make the other structure which were useful for making the bed sheets. Then we tried one more thing for that. The thing is rayon plus wool. When we added both of these textures, we obtained carpets from that. So we were able to make so many new things out of this. So this is the first thing that we have studied here, is the rayon, one of the artificial or synthetic fiber. Now let us see the second one. Here is the word that is nylon. Are you familiar with this word? Yes, of course. We have seen the nylon things in our houses. The first one is in the monsoon season, we have the ropes coming at our house which is of nylon, isn't it? Yes. Now let us see and have a look at this, that what actually this nylon is. So nylon was the first ever man-made or synthetic fiber which was not able to use, or which was not using any of the artificial natural substance in that. So how did it was able to construct? It was being constructed in 1931, and with the help of the coal, water and air. See, these are the ingredients by which we constructed the nylon, by chemically treating them. Okay, now see what are the benefits of this nylon which we have prepared in the artificial manner. So we have the benefits as it is the strong one, it is the elastic one, it possesses lightweight, and it is lustrous, means shining when seen. Then it is easy to wash. What other things we want? This is what the benefits we are getting from the nylon. Now, being this beneficial product, we have used this nylon for so many of the things to make. Now, what are the things which we have prepared from the nylon? Let's have a look at the list. We can make the socks, ropes, tents. Yes, tents, I mean the tent which we use for the outdoor picnics. Remember that? Yes. Then we have the toothbrushes which we are using always. Just see and check it out in your washrooms. It is made with the nylons. Then we have the car seat belts which we are using often, isn't it? Now the sleeping bags. This sleeping bag is the one which is being used for the outdoor picnics, where we cannot have the beds available. Means in the mountains or in the forest areas where we go for the outing, there it is being used. Then we have the curtains. Some of the curtains in our houses which cover the windows very well, they are made with the nylons only. Now, apart from this, if you are aware, the nylon is a stronger synthetic fiber. It is so strong that it can beat the steel wire also, you know that? So it is stronger than the steel wire also. Now you must be coming to know that how strong it would be. Because of this strongness, we are making the parachutes from it, and we are making the ropes for the rock climbing also, as we have to take so much of the weight with us, and even we are also weightful. So when we are climbing the rocks or the mountains, at that time we need to have the strong ropes with us, which will be handling all these things. So this is the nylon, which will be useful over there. Let us see the activity 3.1 as it is given in our textbook, to find out the strength of these fibers, including the natural one also and the synthetic also. So as you can see over here in the picture, a stand is given with a clamp on it. Now what we have to do is, we have to take the threads of natural and synthetic, both the fibers, up to 60 centimeter of the length, and just try to have the thickness of all this fiber in the same one, so that there is no biasness for the other one. Now what we have to do, we have to attach the free one end of the fiber to the thread to the clamp of this stand. Now what will happen? There will be a stand over here where the clamp we have to tie the thread, and at the other free end of the same thread we have to attach a pan, in which we have to place some weight one by one. We have to wait and add the weight till the thread breaks. So this will be showing us the strength of the particular thread. Now as you can see in this table, you have the list of few of the fibers, or the threads. Either they are the natural one also, or they are the synthetic one also, including the wool, the nylon, the rayon, and any of the thread that you can find at your home. So this is your assignment that you have to do at your home, and try to find out which one is the stronger one among all these things. But as we know that the nylon will be the stronger one among all these things. Why? Because it is stronger than the steel wire also, isn't it? So it may happen that while you are doing this experiment, you will get the answer that the more of the weight will be required to break the nylon fiber, and that will be the true answer. Okay. Now after completing this experiment or activity 3.1, let's go to the next topic, as we have the next polyester and the acrylic, which are again the form of the artificial fibers. Now polyester, the name is known to you people because it is one of the type of the fabric that we wear. Now polyester, when we go to the market, the shopkeeper always shows us different types of the clothes in front of us. From there they or he would like to say that which type of the cloth would you like to prefer? Would you like to have the cotton or the polyester or any other type? So generally we prefer the cotton one, because polyester have lot of benefits, but on the other hand it is not skin friendly, so we don't want to wear it. Okay, let's go with that. Now one of the most famous polyester available in the market is Terylene. So this is why it is popular. All the polyesters will be wrinkle free, so that there will be no wrinkles as we have in the cotton clothes. So it is very easy to wear and handle them. So what are the benefits that we can have? It is more durable, easily handled, and so we prefer to have the polyester more often than the cotton. But as I said, it is not skin friendly to wear, so we would not like to have it. Now the Paheli is asking that my mother has brought one of the plastic container. In the bottom of that container it was written PET in the capital letters. What does it mean? So here we have the explanation for her answer, for her question. PET, it does mean that polyethylene terephthalate. Now what is this? This is also an artificial or synthetic fiber which is used for making the containers. Now what are these things? We have the bottles being made from that. We have the utensils also, which are plastic made containers. Then films we have, which we are not nowadays using, but in the earlier time we were using it. Then we have the wires also, which are plastic coated. They are made with such type of the PET material, that is again referred as polyethylene terephthalate. So this is the answer to Paheli's question. Now we have the another thing over here. Polyester. Polyester is actually made up of the repeating units of the chemical called the ester. Now actually esters are the chemicals which give fruits their smell. Fabrics are sold by names like the polycoat, polywool, terrycoat, etc. As the name suggests, these are made by mixing two types of the fibers. Polycoat is a mixture of polyester and cotton. Polywool is a mixture of polyester and wool. So this was the explanation about the polyester that we have came across till now. Now here we have the another artificial fiber or synthetic fiber which is named as the acrylic. Now what is this acrylic? You must have seen that during the winter time whatever the sweaters that we wear or the mufflers or the caps or the scarf that we wear are made up of the wool. But do you think they are the original wool? Not of course. So what are they actually made up of? Now here comes your answer to the question that these are the acrylic which is resembling the original wool and they are the synthetic fiber. So let's have a look at this, that why we are wearing such type of the sweaters being made from the acrylic, as they are durable and they are affordable as compared to the one which are made from the original wool. So we are just having the acrylic as the first choice to have in the sweaters also. Now the next topic that we have is, you must have heard from your elders that saying while we are having the crackers or we are using the gas stove or if we are nearby some firework, we should not be wearing the polyester clothes at that time. What is the reason? And if in the labs also, if you are working in the labs also, the polyester clothes are banned. What is the reason behind that? The reason is that they melt on heating. So what will happen if a person catch fire and if he or she has wore the polyester cloth? What will happen to this cloth? Yes, it will start melting, and as soon as it will start melting, it will stick to our skin and the body parts. So what will happen? As it is melting and hot because of the heat, it will just stick to the skin and will not allow us to remove that cloth. So it is very harmful and it can burn our skin for a long time duration and can harm to us from the inner parts also. So this is advisable that while we are working in the labs or even in the kitchen also, and even we are lighting the crackers in the Diwali time, we should not be wearing the polyester clothes at all. Now the next thing we have, that we have seen the natural fibers can be obtained from the source like the animals and the plants, but from where do we get the source of the synthetic fibers? So the answer is that we obtain the sources from petrochemicals. Petrochemicals, you must have heard the name. We have petrochemicals from which we obtain the petrol, diesel, gas and all the lubricating oil and so many of the variety of the things. Now one of the part is the synthetic material is also obtained from the petrochemicals only. Let's have the next topic which says characteristics of the synthetic fibers. What are the few of the benefits which makes it more popular in the world? So let us see these points. The first point, so nice, dry up quickly as compared to the natural fiber. It just dry up very quickly, which is one of the beneficial point to us. Durable, it can stay for long time duration with us without harming its own self and without harming us also. So it's a good thing. Then less expensive. As we know, we are always searching for the cheaper thing but for best quality. So here we can have both the things together. Then we have readily available. As we know that some of the natural fibers are sometimes not available in the market, but as this is made with the artificial one and it is made with the men, so human beings are making it, so it is very easy to available. So it is one more beneficial points we have. Easy to maintain. Now maintaining these things are very easy. So when we look at in our wardrobe of the mothers or grandmothers wardrobe, we find some of the silk sarees. How do they maintain that? You must have seen sometimes. What do? Every 6 months or after every 1 year duration, they have to just clean the wardrobe by unfolding the sari, just dry it in the sunlight, again fold it in the opposite side and keep the phenolphthalein balls over there so that it is safe over there. But taking so much of the care, at the last also after a few years, we will find some damage in the sari which is originally made from the silk. As compared to that, when we are using the artificial one or the synthetic fibers, it is not like that. We don't have to maintain it so hard. So it is more durable and more easy to handle. That is why it is the first choice for human beings now. Now, as we can see here, we have the activity 3.2. It's a very easy activity. What we have to do? This is again the assignment that you have to conduct at your home. Now, what you have to do in this? You have to take 2 equal size tumblers from your house, add some water which is of equal amount in both the tumblers. Now, with the help of your parents, you have to find 2 types of the clothes from your house. One should be the natural fiber, that is either cotton or wool, and the other should be the synthetic fiber, that could be the polyester or any other thing that you have at your home. So, you have to take the same quantity of the water and same amount of the cloth that you have. Now, what you have to do? Soak both the pieces of the cloth in different tumbler. After few minutes, that is after 5 minutes, you can just take the clothes out of the tumbler, but don't rinse it, just dry it in the sunlight. So after few minutes, you will find that one of the cloth will be drying up faster as compared to the other one. So by this you have to conclude the experiment, that what did you find? Now here I will give you the conclusion, but still you have to do this activity at the home as an assignment. Okay. Now what you will find is the first case where you have applied the same amount of the water in both the tumblers. When you have soaked both the synthetic and the natural fiber in the water, you will find that the natural fiber will be absorbing more amount of the water as compared to the synthetic one. And when you are just taking it out and without rinsing, when you are keeping it in the dry, you will find that the synthetic fiber will be drying faster as compared to the natural fiber. Now, what is the reason behind it? As we know and we have studied that it will be drying quickly. Which one? The synthetic one. So it will not be even absorbing more water. So because of that, it will be drying quickly. So this is the interesting activity that you can conduct at your home and show it to the other people also. Now, the next thing that comes in our mind is the plastic. Now plastic is also a polymer which is made synthetically. Now what is this plastic? Let us have a look at this. Now plastic, when we are saying, as you can see in this picture, you are seeing 2 types of the arrangement. One is the linear arrangement where the boxes are placed in a single line and they are attached in a single way. But as you can see in the second picture, there are the links with the boxes in the different manner. They are called the cross-linked arrangement. Now these are the 2 types of the arrangement which we find in the plastic generally. What are the uses of the plastic? As we know very well that the plastics are recyclable, reusable, they can be molded into different shapes, they can be dyed very easily with the different and more often colors. So these are the benefits that we see with the plastic. Now here in the picture you are available to see few of the materials which are made from the plastic. As we have the chair, the tumbler, or you can say the bucket, then we have the toy and we have the glass. So these are the few of the articles which are made from the plastic. Now let us see and have a look at the polythene. We have all familiar with this word, isn't it? The word polythene, because nowadays when we go to the market, whether we are going for shopping or not, we carry some of the other things from the market by seeing or by attracted to it. So what will happen? We have not taken any of the bags with us. Then what will happen? Yes, the shopkeeper will not let you go without the things wanting to sell you. So what he will do? He will give you the polythene bag from his side. Okay, and these polythene are collected at our home. What is this polythene? The popular form of the plastic in our houses and everywhere in the world. What this polythene actually is made up of? Again, the word poly is over here in the starting portion. Poly means many, as we know very well, and here ethene is the word. Ethene is one of the synthetic fiber or the synthetic unit which is available in the lab. So by making these combination, we are making the polythene bags, which is so familiar and popular in the world, as we know very well. Now here comes the plastics. Now here on the blackboard you can find there are two parts of the plastics we have made. The one is known as thermoplastics and the other one is thermosetting plastic. Now the word thermo, you are knowing that what is the meaning of thermo? Giving heat. Okay, so thermoplastic means the plastics in which when we give the heat, it can start molding and we can mold it into different shapes. For example, if we have the plastic bottle and we just pour the hot water inside it, what will happen? You will see the bottle is dancing and the shape will be transferred, isn't it? This is what the thermoplastic is. Now, the plastics which can be changed by heating to the different shapes are termed to be the thermoplastics. The examples we have polythene, PVC and so many others. So these are the beautiful plastics which can be molded into different shapes. Now the second category of the plastics we have is the thermosetting plastic. Now here what will happen? When some of the plastics set for one of the dye or design, they will be set for that only. When you will try to heat it and give the molding of the other shapes, it will not turn into that shape. This type of the plastic which will be set once will not be molded are known as thermosetting plastics. So they will be brittle as compared to the thermoplastics. So they will not be able to mold into different shapes by even heating also. Such type of the plastics are thermosetting plastic. We have the examples as bakelite and the melamine. Now what are these bakelite and melamine useful for? The bakelites will be useful for making the switchboards and the switches over here in our houses. Then we have the bakelite being useful for the other purpose, that is the handles of the utensils, as we have the pan, the pressure cooker. These are the handles which are made with the bakelites only. The next one we have is the melamine. What are the uses of the melamine? As we know that the melamine is fire resistant and it can protect the material from the fire up to high extent as compared to the other plastic. For this purpose, it is used to make the tiles at our houses and some of the containers, and it is used to coat the wire also. The wire which is made with the copper internally and then it is being coated with the plastic which is the melamine. So these are the few of the things that we have studied here. Now let us have a look at the picture which is showing us both the examples. So here we have the picture. In this you can see the material made with the bakelite and the melamine. In bakelite we have the switchboard, the dish or the plates, the handles of the utensils we have, the dishes we have, and even the tiles also we have. Now the next thing that we have is the melamine. Sorry, that is the thermosetting plastic on the top, and in the bottom we have the thermoplastics which have the containers. As bakelite is a poor conductor of electricity, it is used for making the switches of the electricity. Now here we have the next topic which says that plastics as the materials of the choice. There are so many reasons with us which makes the plastic our first choice. Some of them are light in weight, lower price, good strength and easy handling. Nobody will be just ignoring these things, isn't it? So we would like to have such type of the things which possess so many of the benefits. Now here we have the next topic which says that plastic is a non-reactive. The reasons why we have the first choice as the plastic, it is non-reactive. What does it mean? When we are saying that we have to place the pickles in our container in our kitchen, we used to have the container which are made up of the glass. But we know that the pickles and any of the substances we can put in the plastic jar also. What will happen? As the plastic does not react with any of the the substances or chemicals, it is widely used for every purpose, in the labs also, even in the kitchens also. So it is a good choice to have the plastics as the first one. The next one, plastic is light, strong and durable. What do we mean by that? Light means it is light in weight. The next thing we have is it is strong. If the container falls down, if it is made up of the glass, it will break because it is brittle, whereas the plastic cannot break easily, so it is more easy to handle. The next one we have is durable. It can stay for long time duration without having any of the problems. So it is again a choice for us, the first choice to choose it. The next thing we have, plastics are poor conductors. This is also one of the good thing that we have. While working nearby the electrical work, we can have the plastic so that we will not be getting any of the fire or any of the unwanted accidents over there. So because of this reason, we can have the plastic as our choice. Now here when we are talking that it is a poor conductor of heat and electricity, which make it a better choice while working with the heat also or for the electrical appliances also. Now here, as we have a table in front of you, we can have did you know. Now what is this table showing us? Here are few of the points, facts we can say, which is good enough to have this. We have the first point, plastics find extensive use in the healthcare industries. Apart from the home or the domestic uses which we have seen, we are here with the industrial or healthcare industrial material. Some examples of their uses are the packaging of the tablets, threads used for the stitching, wounds, syringes, doctors' gloves, and a number of the medical instruments. The next point says to us, special plastic cookware is used in the microwave ovens for cooking the food. In microwave oven, the heat cooks the food but does not affect the plastic vessels. So it is again a good thing for us. The third point says that Teflon is a special plastic on which oil and water do not stick. It is used for making the non-stick coating on the cookwares. And the last and beautiful point is fireproof plastics. Although synthetic fibers catches fire easily, it is interesting to know that the uniforms of the firemen have coating of the melamine plastic to make them flame resistant. These are the few of the things that we have came to know by this did you know column. Now here we have the next topic, which is saying us that 3.6, that is plastics and the environment. What is the relation between the plastic and the environment? As we know very well that plastic is not going to degrade very easily or decompose easily into the soil back. So it is going to harm us a lot. But because of its few of the benefits, we are choosing the plastic for our benefits. So let us look at this. What are the things which are making it so poor for the environmental use? Now here we can say that two things we have, the two terms, that is biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Now the substances the substances which can be decomposed back into the soil, means they can break into the soil particles, is known as biodegradable, whereas the opposite of that means the substances which cannot be decomposed or cannot be changed into soil again are termed as non-biodegradable. Now there, for example, I will give you a simple example. You can take the peels of the fruits and the vegetables in the kitchen, from the kitchen, and just keep it in the pit made by you in the mud. Just cover it again by the mud. After a few days, when you will go over there and find out the peels, you will see that some of the peel portions are just vanished over there. They have just converted themselves into the soil bag. Means it is one kind of the manure that you have made by yourself by using the peels of the waste from the kitchen. So this is what the thing is. It means that they are degradable, means they can be biodegraded in the environment to the soil back. Now if we will work like this, we have the choice over here. We have the table. The table which is saying that type of the waste, approximate time taken to degenerate that, and the nature of the material. Now here it is, peels of the vegetables and the fruits, leftover foodstuffs, etc. will take 1 to 2 weeks and is known as biodegradable. The next one we have is the paper, which will take 10 to 30 days and is again a biodegradable because it is is going to convert in the soil. Cotton clothes, if it is placed in the mud or in the soil and hidden over there, it will take 2 to 5 months to completely make into the soil. So it is again a biodegradable. Wood, for example, from any of the furniture portions of the wood, if you will dig into the soil and just cover it by the soil, you will have the 10 to 15 years to have it again into the soil form. This is again called the biodegradable. Woolen clothes will take about a year to completely decompose itself into the soil. So again it is called a biodegradable. But when we are talking about the tin, aluminum and the other metal cans, it will be taking 100 to 500 years to degrade. So it will be having lot of generations to go away with this time duration, and thus we have to consider this as the non-biodegradable substance. And the last is the plastic bags. As we know, it will be taking several years, means more than 500 years to degrade, and so it is not a biodegradable substance. So in this table we have seen that the plastics will be taking a lot of time, which is not good for our environment to have it in the atmosphere. Now we can say that the plastic takes several years, which will be damaging our new generations also. So here we can say that plastics are not good for our environment. Now in this table, in this paragraph, we can say that, have you ever seen a garbage dump? Now what will happen in this garbage dump? We normally people put the eatable things in the plastic bags and just wrap it and throw it in the dustbin. But what about the animals? Have you seen the animals taking it out and eating them away? Yes, they don't have the hands to open the plastic bags and eat the eatable things from the plastic bags. So what will happen? They will just gallop whatever we have thrown as it is, because that is of the plastic. It will be just stuck to their stomach, and what will happen? As a result, these bags will be stuck in their stomach and will be choked in their respiratory systems also, and thus the animals will be getting died because of this. So these poly bags are carefully thrown here and there, and it is our responsibility to throw it in the proper way. For the clogging of the drains also, we should be not throwing here and there. So carefully we have to maintain this cleanliness for the plastic bags especially. As a responsible citizen, what measures do we suggest to keep the public places clean and free of the plastics? We should be avoiding the plastics as far as possible, and if we have it, just keep it in the bags and don't throw it without any of the garbage bin or dustbin nearby you. So these are the few of the things we have seen. Now here we have the 5R. What are these 5R? The first one is reduce. Reduce means what? We should be reducing the plastic usage by our side. We should carry a bag, jute bag or cotton bag with us always, so that we reduce the taking of the plastic from outside. The second thing is reuse. Suppose for example, if I have a polythene bag with me, I should reuse it again and again for the different purpose. I should not throw it. Now the second thing, we have recycle. Some of the things like the plastic bottles which we take for the beverages or the other cold drinks, what do we do then? We have to just take it and give it for the recycling, so that it is again constructed with the new bottles and coming to the market. So it is called the recycling. The next thing is recover. How to recover this? Suppose somebody as a shopkeeper or vendors will supply us the plastic bag, we should not be taking it and we have to cover the place of the plastic bag by the cotton or the other jute bags which we have. Okay, and the last one we have is the refuse. If somebody from their side is delivering us the plastic bags, we should not take it. This is what the refusing is. So these 5R we have to take care about. By this we can help the environment to generate the beautiful environment or atmosphere with us. Now here we have the last paragraph which says the fiber wise. What are the points mentioned here? Do not throw the plastic bags in the water bodies or on the road. Take a cotton carry bag or a jute bag while going for shopping. Try to minimize the use of the plastic materials. For example, use of a steel lunch box instead of a plastic one. Now by this we end up the chapter, but let's have a small recap of whatever we have studied. Now here in the slides you can see that the first topic was what are the synthetic fibers. Then we have studied the types of the synthetic fibers, that is rayon and the nylon. Then we have seen the activity 3.1. Further, we have seen the polyester and acrylic. After that, we have just switched on to the characteristics of the synthetic fibers, which were telling the plastics. In that, we have studied the thermoplastic and the thermosetting plastics. Then we went with the plastics as the material of the choice. Plastic is non-reactive, we have seen that, and plastic, why it is durable, light and strong. So these are the reasons. And then at last we have seen that plastics are the poor conductors. Then winded up with the last topic, that is plastics and the environment. I hope that you have enjoyed this chapter and understood it very well. Thank you.